Hello everyone, I am again with you to welcome you all in the period of Renaissance with its characteristics. Now we are going to understand what is the Renaissance period and what are its characteristics. Okay, let's begin without delaying. Imagine a world where people suddenly begin to question everything: religion, authority, and even the way humans sees themselves. A time when art, science, and literature exploded with creativity. The period is called the Renaissance, a word that literally means rebirth. In today's video, we will explore what the Renaissance in literature, what are its key characteristics, what are the famous writers and their works, and examples that shaped modern literature. Now, let's begin. The Renaissance was a cultural movement that begins in Florence around the 14th century and spread across Europe until the 17th century. It followed the Middle Ages, often called the Dark Ages, and marked a shift toward knowledge, human potential, and scientific thinking. In literature, this meant writers began focusing less on purely religious themes and more on human experiences, emotions, and individuality. At the heart of Renaissance literature is a concept called humanism. Humanism Humanists emphasized the value of human being, the existence of human being, the individual achievements, and the classical Greek and Roman ideas too. Writers studied ancient texts and revived their style but added new depth in it. For example, instead of only writing about God, author began asking the questions: what is love? Means that on emotions. What is ambitions? Means that about the human feeling. And what is the nature of humanity? Means that the existence of the human too. Let's break down the key features of Renaissance period. First and foremost key feature of Renaissance period is it is focused on human life. Unlike medieval literature, Renaissance works focused on real human emotions and experiences. William Shakespeare wrote plays that explored jealousy, love, ambition, and betrayal. In Macbeth, we see how ambition leads to downfall. The second and the foremost characteristic of Renaissance period is revival of classical learning. In this time, writers were inspired by ancient Greek and Roman texts. Dante Alighieri in the Divine Comedy blends medieval religions with classical influences. The third characteristic of this period is use of vernacular languages. Before the Renaissance period, most works were written in Latin only. Now, writer begins using local languages. This made literature accessible to common people also. Geoffrey Chaucer wrote the Canterbury Tales in English instead of Latin language. Next one is the individualism. The writer of Renaissance period focused on individual identity too, and they are trying to express personal experiences and expressions. Example: Michel de Montaigne invented the modern essay by writing about his own thoughts and experiences. The next characteristics of the Renaissance period is exploration of love and beauty. Love was no longer just spiritual, because before Renaissance period we only love God, but now it becomes romantic and physical too. Petrarch wrote sonnets expressing deep personal love and emotions. We find this thing in other writers too, in other places. Interest in politics and society. Now the writer begin analyzing power, leadership and society too. Number of writers has written their work to describe power, leadership and society. If we try to find out the major writers in Renaissance period and number of places, we find different writers. Like in England we find William Shakespeare, we find John Milton and so on. In Italy there is Dante, there is Boccaccio, there is Petrarch and so on. In France Montaigne is there and so on. Let's take some examples to analyze these things. In Hamlet questions life and death. He reflects deeply on existence, to be or not to be. The play explores psychology and human conflict. This shows Renaissance traits, means that individualism, human emotions, and intellectual depth. The Renaissance was more than just a time period, it was a transformation in how people thought, wrote, and understand life. It gave us a very abundant and rich literature. It gave us complex and real characters, and it also gave us timeless themes. Even today, in modern literature, it is deeply influenced by Renaissance ideas. So, I hope you will understand what is Renaissance period and what are its characteristics. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel so that you will get more information about literature and literary pieces. And tell me in the comment which Renaissance writer is your favorite writer and why. See you in the next video. Thank you.